Here we go. We're getting this party started. Actually, I would love to have mariachi music. I feel like we should have mariachi music to go live. Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from. Thank you so much for being here. I had such a great time going through the presentation with our host today, Laura Lee, who I'm going to introduce in just a moment, because we're both basically Mexican hearts, right? Spanish speaking, and we're talking about this beautiful property, which was my first place that I ever went to when I went on a family vacation to Mexico. And it was such an amazing, amazing experience. And then I got to go back with my mom just last year. So I know firsthand how fantastic this property is, how beautiful this service is, the area, the richness of this destination. So I'm not going to take it away from Laura Lee. She's going to share, but I'll say a very good morning or good afternoon. Hola, buenas tardes, buenos días. From us to you, I'm Sabrina here with Spoiled Agent. And I have today my new friend, Laura Lee Graham. She's a sales representative for Sheraton Buganvilias Resort and Convention Center in Puerto Vallarta, and she covers all the USA and Canada. How are you today, Laura Lee?
Great, great. I'm so excited.
Wonderful. Well, I love your background. I bet you that's all from your travels to fantastic places. So you don't need to put a background and hide your closet like I am. So you have a beautiful background already. That's fantastic. Hey,
Thank you.
from Chicago. So let us know where you're tuning in from. And I know that we have agents from all across US and Canada. Also, our friends are here on Facebook. Hey, everyone in Facebook. Let us know where you're tuning in from and also what you guys are love about Puerto Vallarta if you've already been there, or all the good things you've heard. If you have not been, you're about to get a real treat. So I'll go real quick with housekeeping notes and remind everyone that, of course, we've got a pro here. How many years you've been already working with the Sheraton, you said, Laura Lee?
Over 17 the first time, and then I came back again last year.
So she's got decades under her belt of experience and personal experiences at this property. So this is a great person that you can ask your questions to. Please, please do that. And make sure you do that in the question Q&A box. If you're on Zoom, just add it in, if you're on Facebook, just add it in your comments. And if you have any just friendly hellos and all that fun stuff, you can keep it in the chat. Of course, we'll all be on mute and this session will be recorded. So if you have to run because you can't believe all the amazing things that are going to go on for Thanksgiving and Dia de los Muertos, and you're calling your clients, we forgive you, right, Laura Lee? And you can
Absolutely.
come back and watch the rest of the recording. But we do have an amazing prize, which in order to qualify for that, you do need to stay on until the Q&A portion of the session. So Laura Lee, you guys were so gracious. Thank you so much. Do you want to share what that is?
You will have a 3-day, 2-night stay at the hotel for 2 complimentary. And depending on the time of year, you can add nights at agent rates. We have high season rates and low season rates year round based on availability, of course.
That's right. And you can find them on Spoiled Agent, and I'll make sure to share those with you. And I'll just say, hola, mi pana, Federic Caviet. He said he was working in the Sheraton in Venezuela, and he loves selling the Sheraton to his clients. Hola, hola, Federic, and hi, everyone. So I will let a lovely Laura Lee get started with a lovely presentation we have here. And over here on Facebook, if you'd like to enter in the draw, of course you do, please put your email. If you're on Zoom, we have all your info, so don't worry. Only for those on Facebook, please put that in there. And I have an agent. That's your first month as an agent. Welcome. Welcome to the best industry in the world. Laura Lee and I were saying we were just babies when we started and we can't leave, right?
No.
Wonderful. Okay, well, I'll let you get started then, Laura Lee. I'll make this big screen for you.
Excellent. Here we go. Well, welcome to Sheraton Buganvilias in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. This is a Sheraton, great world lovely brand that is identifiable. You know their standards. We're part of the Marriott Bonvoy program. But the special thing about Sheraton Bougainvillea is, why am I repping one hotel, not a chain? This is one hotel, over 450 rooms. It is privately owned by one family in Guadalajara. I love that because I actually went to school in Guadalajara. So Jalisco, the state, has my heart and has since I was 20 years old. But the great thing about this hotel, we've been open since 1982 as the Sheraton Buganvilias. For those of you who've been in the business for a long time, you know that properties change names and they go, oh, that used to be this and it used to be that. And then they moved here. This has always been the Sheraton Buganvilias, same owner since 1982. And pardon me, one of the owner's family has lived on site full time since 1982. So the owner is walking the property and grounds every day. True story. I was there with my daughter after a hurricane to see everything, fixed up and updated. And the owner's daughter, the one that was living there at the time, was actually in the ladies' room before breakfast, full hair, full makeup, the high heels, and she was rearranging the flowers in the lobby. I think that's what you would call a personal touch. We're very close to the Malecón, about 3 minutes by taxi. We are in the hotel zone, which I'll show you on a map in just a minute. And we are the last major hotel before you hit the downtown area. So really great location, 10, 15 minutes from the airport. And I'm just going to give you a little video to get you in the mood. So if you look at Mexico on the west coast here of the United States and our wonderful friends in Canada, you'll see Puerto Vallarta is right on the ocean. It's in the state of Jalisco. And it's on Banderas Bay, which is a very, very nice beachy, sandy beach. I've had some of you from Canada, especially, thank you, reaching out to me for bookings and asking about the beach and saying, oh, I heard it's really rocky. It's really rocky. No, they're beautiful sandy beaches. I'll show them to you. We are a 4-diamond AAA hotel. And again, you can see that the downtown area is just right here. There's the Malecón here. And this is the airport zone or the hotel zone. And like I said, we're at the end. We got the marina up here and the airport right here. So great location. The thing I love about Puerto Vallarta as a destination. Again, I was an exchange student in Guadalajara when I was 20. I spent the next 10 years of my life. Going to Mexico is every time I had a plane ticket. So I went every 6 months to a year for 10 years. And I ended up with Puerto Vallarta as my personal favorite. And I'll tell you why. First of all, it is the only really major destination in Mexico that was an actual historical town before it became a destination for tourism. So you've got the beautiful downtown core. You can see the cathedral here. That's not for tourists. That's actually a real one. That's historical. When you're going down the roads, the streets downtown, they're real. And yes, there's lots of restaurants and things up in the hotel zone and really cool ones tucked away downtown and further south in the romantic zone. But Puerto Vallarta is a town that became a destination. So it's very family friendly. You're going to see parents with their kids walking along the Malecón. The other thing about Jalisco as a state, you'll see ballet folklorico and the dances. Mariachi was actually originated in Jalisco. It was actually invented or put together in Jalisco, and the national dance company for the ballet folklorico is also in Guadalajara. So those are things that I really love about Puerto Vallarta as a destination. My kids grew up going to Mexico. And over the years, I've found it's a great destination with whether you're young and single, whether you've got young kids, whether you've got, preteens or teenagers. And I just went there this summer this spring with my adult daughter and her boyfriend. So it's really, really a great destination for all ages. I'm going to spend a little time on this picture because this is one of the best views I have seen that I have of our hotel. We did a $25 million investment upgrading and freshening everything up after COVID. So everything is really fresh. You're not going to go, oh my God, it's a 42-year-old hotel. You're going to go in and say, wow, this is fresh. This is up to date. Everything's great. We even opened a brand new restaurant, which I'll talk about in a minute. I want to point this beautiful jetty out. Can you see my arrow here? This is where most of our weddings take place. So the bride and groom can come out, walk on the grass. There's seating. There's a beautiful palapa or whatever they want. And I highly encourage you to go to SheratonVallarta.com/weddings. We have 2 full-time wedding coordinators on site. Don't be afraid to sell destination weddings. We make it easy for you. I'll go into more detail on that, but I just wanted you to see where it is. And then this grass area is really a lot bigger than it looks, but if you notice, it's in the shape of a heart. So often we will have a welcome party there or cocktail party, special events. They do commercial. We are also the largest convention space in Puerto Vallarta. So if you have any meetings or groups, I have seen them do a sit-down dinner on this strip of beach here for 400 people. It took them, I watched them, it took them 4 days to set it up. We hired 35 extra staff just for that event, and it took them 2 days to tear it down. So we can do on-site events for 5 people. We can do events for 300, 400. I've seen them do it, and they do an exceptional job. Talk about that a little more with weddings. Again, the beaches, I just had one of you reach out to me recently saying that some of the Yelp reviews, etc., had said that the beaches were not swimmable or walkable. Here you go. They're beautiful. And I can tell you, after hurricanes, they actually bring in truckloads of beautiful white sand so that it's not rocky. So don't worry about that. It's spectacular. And I'm trying to find, there we go. So the other thing great is we offer 3 different plans for your clients. Years ago, Puerto Vallarta proper was really shying away from the all-inclusives. The ones that are further up north had them, but now they've fully embraced them, and that's great for your clients. You can book in Canada, WestJet, Transat, Sunwing, travel brands. In the United States, you can book through Apple Leisure Group and all of their subsidiaries. And we do have, I think, some promotions in there right now. And also Pleasant Holidays and Sun Country. So you've got lots of choices, and you can also book direct with us. If you do book through your tour operator and you have special requests or events or things like that you want to do, please reach out to us at the hotel. Myself or Jesus, we're happy to help you. With the 3 different plans, we have the European plan, which of course is just the hotel. We have a bed and breakfast, and then we have an all-inclusive. Now, I was not a real fan of all-inclusive, but I went there this spring again, and I can tell you it's totally worth it. It includes breakfast, lunch, dinner, cocktails from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. It also includes the best Sunday brunch anywhere in Puerto Vallarta. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and I even have other hotel reps have said, yes, the Sheraton Buganvilias has the best Sunday brunch anywhere. Don't miss it. They also have some of the best appetizers. The coconut shrimp has always been my favorite. And it also includes the fiesta night, which is an entire evening of food, beverages, ballet folklorico, that kind of stuff. And we'll talk about that again in a bit. The deli is on the main floor. This is not in the all-inclusive, but it is a nice spot just to get a quick morning coffee. They have Starbucks, which cracks me up because I'm here in Seattle, born and raised, and I watched Starbucks grow. And the first time I saw it internationally was in Turkey, of all places, where they're famous for coffee. So I'm not surprised to see them in Puerto Vallarta. Starbucks headquarters is actually about 20 minutes from my house. So enjoy your Starbucks coffee and your pastries in the morning. Right around the corner, if you look at this picture right here, is the lobby bar. So you can just take your coffee right around the corner and enjoy the morning or the sunsets. We also have 7 different restaurants on site. Some are buffet, some are a la carte. I'll go into them specifically. But whether it's pizza, sushi, seafood, steaks, pasta, we've got it all. The newest one to open, and I was so excited this spring to experience it, is the Punta Sal. It's actually out on the beach, up on a pedestal and partially enclosed in glass. I'll show you a picture here. It's steak and seafood, but definitely primarily seafood. There you go. This is the restaurant. This is the view because we're literally out and you can see the Malecón. You're sitting right there. It's absolutely spectacular. And the food and service are great too. It is not in the all-inclusive, but a portion of the menu is in the all-inclusive. I don't think you should hold back. Please encourage your clients to experience the Punta Sal. They have a seafood platter. It's $35, $40. It's not in the all-inclusive, but it's totally worth it. Serves 2 people. It's got octopus and the best prawns. I mean, everything, huge dinner platter, like, dinner size platter, definitely serves 2. The staff there is great. The bar staff. I mean, I have a picture of these guys on my rotating screen in my living room because they're family. And as Sabrina said, we have staff that have been there for 20 years, 30 years. During Hurricane Kenna, which is 2002, that's how long I have been associated with this hotel. They actually paid, we were closed longer than any other hotel in PV, 22 months, and they actually paid their entire staff in Mexico the whole time so that everybody would come back. And that goes back to we're privately owned, family run. Those are kind of really, I think, just really unique things that you're not going to find elsewhere. Las Gaviotas. This is our high fine dining restaurant. And it just won for 2024 the best fine dining hotel restaurant in Latin America at the World Culinary Awards. That is a big deal. When I was there, they had a group of about 20 that were sitting out on the deck or out on the outdoor seating. They had 4 waiters just for that table and 2 bus people, so they were getting absolutely outstanding service. It's a 5-course meal no matter what you order. So they'll bring out like a little appetizer and it's got a little glass cover with smoke. So they take it off, the smoke rises. Very dramatic, but very high end. And this actually is included in the all-inclusive. The Vijita is your main palapa for your breakfast, your lunch, and your Sunday brunch and dinner, if you like, if you don't want to go into town or you don't want to use one of our other ones. This is buffet, but also they offer a la carte. And again, don't miss the Sunday brunch, whether your clients do the all-inclusive or not. This one is the best in PV. They have crepes, a crepe station. They make the crepe from scratch and then fill it with scratched. Also, there's a cook station, for eggs and that kind of stuff. But a whole section of Mexican cuisine. You can see this is just the dessert section here. But, it's a good 2-hour, long morning brunch. But again, all included in the all-inclusive. And when you're talking $40, $50 per person for breakfast, let's do the all-inclusive. We have a multiple of other restaurants around the property. The Trattoria al Fresco. Actually, this says Italian, but they actually have a rotating seasonal cuisine. They have rice week, where they have beautiful Asian menus. They have the pasta, but they also have seafood. When I was there, they had a seafood cuisine, and that's just outside the Palapa. You can see that it's right on the pool edge, and then they have some afternoon activities there. The pizzeria, believe it or not, is really, really good. They're home hand tossed, and with the pizza ovens, etc. The pergola is your standard poolside service. They have burgers, they have ceviche, they have quesadillas, they have guac and chips, really good guac. And that is the swim up bar, but also they do offer service in the chaise. So you can go after breakfast, spend the whole day at the pool, have your lunch, have cocktails, coco locos, and they'll come by every 15, 20 minutes and make sure that your glass is full and your clients are happy. The lobby bar, that seems like a funny thing to promote, but I actually love, this is one of my favorite places in the hotel. It's just behind the lobby, just behind the deli. And they actually do offer appetizers, and they have live music in the afternoon. And it's just a nice spot to read a book. And you've got the breezes coming, you're behind the pool, so it's a little quieter, and you don't have to be in the hubbub, or maybe you don't want to be in your bathing suit during the day. But this is a great little spot, and it's my room was actually just above it, and we'll talk about room categories in just a minute and views, okay? The Gastro Bar Embarcadero is our gastro pub. My daughter and her boyfriend just loved it, so definitely millennials and Gen Z and Xers love it. And it was great. And we have over 100 tequila brands here and a huge wine selection, mixology. What do they call it? The coffee martinis, that kind of, really great specialty drinks and appetizers. Also in the all-inclusive. Snacks, all of that kind of stuff. You've got, and you can see the burgers and the ceviche and all that kind of stuff. And you don't have to leave the pool. You can spend the day sitting there, get there early, get your spot at the pool. Make sure you have a spot with a little shade, because I stayed at the bar thinking I was covered. Don't do that. Make sure your clients know there's sun. The Maeve Spa. This place is amazing, and we are currently nominated for the best spa in Mexico, all of Mexico, by the Food and Travel Readers Awards. And we'll send a link to Spoiled Agent so you can look at it and vote for us, hopefully through January. We'd appreciate you looking at it and your votes. I have to tell you, again, being associated with this hotel for so many years, in the old days, it was one of those very standard spas with a little glass door and just some tile and 2 or 3 gals with some little tiny rooms and, mani-pedis. Now we are talking state of the art. I subjected myself to a day of research this spring. You can see left here, we have the hydrotherapy pools, and you walk in, you get a cold plunge, then a hot, and then a steam, and then a steam shower, and then you come into these hydrotherapy pools. And this is included when you have a treatment. So I ordered a facial and a head massage, and this was included. So that's really nice. It's also probably 10 times the size of our old spa. So this is not to be missed. Definitely you can plan girls' weekends, or when we were there, we saw a really lovely group of a bride with her wedding party there for their hen weekend. They were American Indian, meaning from India. And it's very traditional to have what they call a hen party. And these young, beautiful ladies were doing that. And that's a fun thing if you have groups, to include a spa certificate, whether it's 50 or 100 or whatever. And if you book it through your tour operator, we can do the gift cards, include that for you and coordinate with that for your tour operator, or you can, of course, do any of that directly with us. This is also new since COVID with our $25 million investment. We've added a really beautiful suite for the bride preparation area. We have 2 full-time wedding planners on site. So please do not be afraid to book a destination wedding. A lot of agents, especially new ones, kind of step back, or they get where they say it's just too much work, too much hassle. We do that all for you. What's great is our products start at just a couple, like $6,000 for like 20 people. I'm throwing that out there real quick. But as I said, we can do it up to 300. And what's great is you get commission on that wedding, okay? But you also get commission on the rooms. So if the bride and groom have 10 rooms or 20 rooms or 30 rooms, you're going to get commission on that as well. So, you can make money on weddings, and we're going to take the work out of it for you. This this bridal suite, also, we can bring in hair, makeup, photographers, the flowers, everything. So take a look at SheratonVallarta.com. Be sure and look at our wedding section. There's a lot of beautiful visuals on what we can do out on that jetty. And again, because we have the largest convention space in Puerto Vallarta, if unfortunately it starts to, we know it's going to rain, they book it during rainy season, which hopefully will avoid all of that. We do have inside space, and the same thing for Fiesta Night. I've actually done Fiesta Night inside and outside. They're both fun. Do you have a very up-to-date new fitness center since COVID? My husband is a gymaholic, and he was there before 7 a.m. every single day. So everything's nice, again, fresh, up to date. And the kids club, Sheraton's is the kids club. This is great. It's just right off the lobby as well. But we do have things, it's for ages 4 to 12, and it's open 9 to 5, 7 days a week, and it's completely complimentary for your guests. So that's great. And there's things, as you can see on the left, the older kids, there's electronics and Xbox and Wii and all that kind of stuff. But there's also for the littles, you can see there's crafts, there's activities, there's actually, I have seen, if you look at this picture of the kids on the beach, I've actually seen these kids out there doing scavenger hunts out in the sand. So this is all great, and it's all complimentary for your guests. We do also offer in-room nanny services. If your clients want to go into town for the evening, or they want to just go have a nice dinner at Gaviotas or Punta Sal. And kidless, we do offer in-room nanny service. There is a fee for that, but the Sheraton Kids Club is complimentary. Of course, we have a tienda with stuff, but it also gives you your toiletries, beverages, you know, things that you want in room, some souvenirs, but of course, you know, downtown is 3 minutes away, so you can do that too. But they do have some actually nice quality shops here. There's a beautiful jewelry shop on site, of course, and in this little tienda. Now the rooms. This is really important. When I've been selling hotels for a long time, and you know, anybody who's been in the business for a while knows garden view usually equals no view. With the Sheraton Buganvilias, all of our hotel rooms are front load construction, and as you can see, every room is looking at the beach. But the way that we categorize our room is from, instead of saying garden view and full ocean view and partial ocean view, we go from the bottom to the top. So the bottom 4 floors are garden view. The next couple of floors are sun terrace. The next couple of floors are ocean view, all the way up to the top 3 floors, which is the adults only section and also our club concierge level. So the other thing I really would like you to look at, a lot of our rooms do not have balconies. And a lot of people think that that's a negative thing. If you look, that's floor to ceiling, wall to wall. It's kind of, you can't quite see it, but it's got like a little alcove, so it feels like a covered deck. But it opens from the waist up, and you can see that right here. So really, I have stayed in every single room category in this hotel. This is a better view than the rooms with a balcony. The balconies are solid. If you're laying in bed, you see the sky and not the beach. Clearly, you can see right down from your bed, laying in bed, right down there. You still have your privacy. You can open that for the beautiful ocean views, or I'm sorry, breezes. This last time I stayed on the 2nd floor, I still had a great room. I had a good view. I went out to that balcony once because I thought I should and had a cup of coffee. And then I went down to the lobby bar to have my coffee. But this is a pretty recent, I think, good representation. But just be aware of this thing with the balconies. Yes, you can ask for them, but as you saw, and you'll see again with the front view of the hotel, you'll see that these are big, open, wide, and airy, and you're not going to miss that balcony. Adults only section, again, personalized check-in, butler service, the club lounge, which is the top 2 suites. We've opened it up to 1 big suite. They have American breakfast. You've got food, drinks, and snacks all day. There are computers, etc. there. And then in the afternoon, what's really nice is from 4 to, I think it's 4 to 5 p.m. After you've been at the pool all day, you take your shower, you want to go and have a beer or a glass of wine and figure out what you're going to do for the evening. Are you going to stay on site, or are you going to go into town? And that is also complimentary. So that's a nice treat, and that's a nice option. We've got the kids club, we've got all that, but we do also have an adults only section for those clients. The fiesta night, as I mentioned, it is included in the all-inclusive. So again, another reason to really sell the all-inclusive, and for you, that means more commission. For those of you that don't know, mariachi actually was created in the state of Jalisco in Guadalajara. So you're as close as it gets to the origins of mariachi. Also, the Ballet Folklorico, the national show, is in Jalisco. So you're going to get a full evening of Mexican entertainment, folklorico dancing, and it shows it's not just from Jalisco, but it gives you a really beautiful overview of the beautiful dances from all over the country. The famous Mexican wedding dance, where they have to make, it's called the hat dance, wedding dance, and they actually make a heart out of a ribbon, out of a bow out of ribbon, sorry, with their feet while they're dancing. I mean, those kinds of things are very, very unique to Mexico and very fun. But that includes dinner, that includes drinks, that includes the show. and that includes dessert, and that's a great family event, or for couples. It's fun for everybody, and again, included in the all-inclusive. We do have new travel agent Facebook groups. I don't have the thing right here, but you can go to Facebook Sheraton Vallarta, and we would have separate specials, benefits for you, ideas for what your clients, upgrades, amenities, that kind of stuff. And like I talked about, if you wanted to have a welcome dinner or an event, or you have a group or a convention, that kind of stuff, that's a nice place to talk to us and let us know what you need. Just about done. Okay, so we do have all of these things for US and Canadian agents. I love the hearts. You guys are just encouraging me. Thank you. We do have an incentive still in place, $75 US dollars in Amazon gift cards for each booking. You guys are great. And all you have to do is record that with us. Let us know who you booked it through, or if you did it direct, and I will send you a $75 Amazon gift card for every booking. So that is a great thing. Couple quick, it says 15 minutes from downtown. I disagree. I did it. It's longer than that. Take a taxi. It's 3 minutes. We are only 10, 15 minutes from the airport. So that's nice. You're not sitting in for half an hour. Some of these destinations, newer ones up north, are an hour, hour and a half from the airport. We're 10, 15 minutes. So that's a nice thing to keep in mind. 473 oceanfront rooms, as we discussed. 4 diamond rated hotels, 7 restaurants, 4 bars, room service round the clock, fitness center, tennis courts. We have 2 full-time tennis pros, and we also, this isn't listed, but we do have access to the local golf courses and can help your clients with that as well. Theme nights, some of the restaurants, especially like the Palapa, they rotate the menu every couple of days. So if you're more the clients are more the type to stay on site, they're not going to get so bored. Let's see, we should have, here we go.
So, how did our trip go? It's been the best one so far. Everything seemed new, unexplored. You should have seen their faces, just as if it was their first time. Because experiencing so much beauty reminded us how amazing our world is. We couldn't stop admiring, trying new things, having fun, and marveling as life cycles keep renewing and following their own path. So much to live and experience. I'm sure we'll go back to this paradise soon. Puerto Vallarta. Revive your desire to travel.
So here's my contact information, lauralee.graham@sheratonvallarta.com. Follow us on Facebook, sheratonvallarta.com, or yeah, there you go. Twitter, Instagram, all of that stuff. But also remember, $75 USD for each reservation that you book. There we are. And I'm just going to ask if you have any questions. I'm going to hand it back over to Sabrina.
Hi there. Wow, look at all your reactions you've got. It's just blowing up with fantastic comments. I am also happy to share with you all the contact information. Sorry about that. I was just typing it out here so I could send that over on Facebook, and here it comes in the chat as well in case anyone has to run. So here's the contact information that you're going to find. I also included the Sheraton Buganvilias link to the page on Spoiled Agent USA. So if you're like, oh no, I want to remember, that information, or what did they say, then there you go. Now, I did see a few questions come in the chat, and I'll have to let you know, unfortunately, they get buried because everyone's talking and saying lovely things. So forgive us for that. Just throw them in the Q&A, which is what we're going to do now. So if you have some time, Laura Lee, that would be great. So we'll go over that right now and ask any questions you have. Again, if you're on Facebook, you can put them there. And if you're here with us, then there we go. Can we get both of your emails, please? Okay, great. That already was sent out. Next question, when will TA rates release for 2025?
We already have rates for 2025, and you can do it reserva, RESERVA, at SheratonVallarta.com. Obviously, it's based on availability. And again, you've got high season and low season. Your high season runs through April, so you're going to pay a little bit more, but we do have industry rates year round. And yes, they're already out.
Wonderful. And I think you've answered this. Is the resort all inclusive? You definitely have that option, right?
Mhm.
That's great. I love that you have the flexibility though, because you're so close to town so that you don't
Yeah.
have to do all inclusive if you want to be venturing, right? And then that Sunday brunch, you guys, all of the things that she said, so fantastic. Do you have a honeymoon package for just marrieds? And how is the weather in September?
Yes, we do. And we can custom design anything for just marrieds. Like we said, we have two new suites with the after COVID renovation, two couples suites on the ground. They're open air, but they're private. They're just tucked between the palapa and the quiet pool, what I call the quiet pool. So you can do couples massages, any of that kind of stuff. And what was the other question?
That's okay. The weather in September.
Oh, the weather, that, you know what? That's actually my very favorite. I've been traveling to to Mexico my entire adult life, and September is actually my favorite time of year.
That's fantastic. Okay. How can I get information and a picture on the convention center, like capacity, breakout rooms
It's all on the website, all of it.
on your website? So Sheraton Vallarta.
SheratonVallarta.com, or if you went to Marriott and clicked Puerto Vallarta, it'd default over to our website.
Okay, and then another quick one that I have right here for you, I just threw it in the chat, is this spoiled agent site. I'm looking here, there's the convention center fact sheet and the convention center flyer right there on spoiled agent for you. If you
Thank you.
want
Thank
to
you.
just click and grab it, then that might be easy as well. But by all means, whatever site works best, that's just a link I have handy. Does the Sheraton have 24-hour security? And if you leave the resort, do they check you in and out? No, the taxi service picked you up, etc. I know many do have this service.
Absolutely. And that
Okay.
is a great question. Something just happened when I was there. And my husband dropped his new iPhone in the taxi, and the guy drove away. And within 40 minutes, we tracked him down. And the taxi actually, another taxi was able to tell us that the 700 number taxis were exclusively for the Sheraton Buganvilias. So we were able to track it down with the concierge up front, and the valets. And we had that driver actually returning after a comical tracking with my daughter on her iPhone for the phone through the streets of Puerto Vallarta. The staff was actually able to get the driver back to the hotel with our phone.
Their service is better than Apple technology, is what you're saying.
Yes,
That's
exactly,
awesome.
exactly.
That's great.
Exactly.
That
And yes, they do
service.
check us in and out. Absolutely. And yes, there's 24-hour security.
So can I answer this next one? It says, does it still have that authentic flavor? So I'm not sure exactly what this is about, but I can tell you, I lived in Mexico for my whole adult life, 20 something years. Actually, I'm still alive and in Canada, so never mind. But I lived for a couple decades there. Anything that you're going to find at Sheraton is like so authentic that it's more authentic than a lot of other places in Mexico. I'm just going to say, just it's authentic to there, right? Because Mexico is full of all sorts of different cuisines. As a matter of fact, it's part of the UNESCO heritage designation, is the fact of the multiple cuisines. So I don't think you can get any more authentic. Laura Lee?
I agree. I agree.
Right?
Like I said, after 40 years traveling there, PV is my favorite destination. And of course, Sheraton's my favorite hotel, and I get to talk about it.
Yay. Okay. I did try to register, but for some reason it wanted a country, and the United States is not on the registration form. I guess that's maybe your agent portal. Is that possible?
Yes, maybe. And so if you contact us, we'll help you with that.
Okay, and then I'll just I'll put the emails back in the chat for everyone, but they're there somewhere, but they get buried pretty quickly. And also the contact information is also on Spoiled Agent, of course. Is October a good month for weddings?
Yes. Again, I
Okay.
said fall is my favorite time in Mexico. You're not in the rainy season, so you're really probably not going to have to worry about using the convention space. I call it BMK, before mortgage and kids. I went to Mexico every 6 months to a year, and September and October are my favorite times. I think the weather is just more consistent. It's not boil, not melt your hair down hot, but very, very comfortable in the high 70s, low 80s. Yeah, you can laugh. It's funny.
Yeah, it's true. That's what happens. You don't even bother with your hair when you go to these super hot times, right? You're like, I'll just
Yeah,
be
but
in
if
the
you're getting
pool.
married, you want it to be, cool enough that you're not going to melt after being in the suite all day, getting your hair and makeup done. So
Of
October is a great
course.
time.
Yes.
Yeah, October is a great time.
There you go. Well, I got married in November and I loved it. And someone else is asking here, how easy is it to accommodate for dietary restrictions, i.e. vegan, no alcohol, halal, kosher, etc.? I can speak to two of those, but Laura Lee, because
No, go ahead.
I'm plant-based, I don't really drink a lot. So two of those, I can tell you from personal experience, I had a great time and ate like a queen as and that Sunday buffet, everything. And every single morning, like you talked about the service at the restaurant, they would make sure that there was a little bowl of fresh blackberries and blueberries and things like that because they knew my mom and I really love to eat fresh berries in the morning, and that was there every morning at a table on the deck where they knew we'd like to sit. And so I can't speak to halal and kosher though. Maybe you can, Laura Lee.
I'm not going to say I'm positive, but I know that we'll do anything we can to accommodate.
There you go. Okay, perfect. If walking to downtown from the Sheraton, how long is the walk?
Well, like I said, it says 15 minutes. I don't agree. The one time I did it, it was a good 30 minutes and it was hot and sweaty and I was dripping by the time I got back. You can do it if you like to walk. It's a comfortable walk. It's flat. Again, it's the last major hotel in the hotel zone before you come around the last couple curves to the Malecon. So if you like the walking, it's comfortable. If it depends on the time of year. If it's too hot, definitely we're talking under $5 for your taxi.
Yeah.
So both options do work.
Okay, and someone is asking, are all 7 restaurants included in the all-inclusive plan?
Yes, they are, except the exception I said with the Punta Sal. Part of the menu is in the inclusive and part is not, and it's very clearly labeled. And like I said, that beautiful seafood platter I was talking about is not included, but totally worth it.
Okay, perfect. And then there's another note here. I think there's a few questions about the all-inclusive. So I'll ask this one and then that might help to clarify for everyone. The question says, so the resort has an all-inclusive plan and not a non-all-inclusive plan, question mark?
Actually, there's 3 options. The non-all-inclusive, which you call European plan, EP, so they're just paying for the room. Then they have a bed and breakfast, so they can have the breakfast in the palapa every morning, or the all-inclusive, which is breakfast, lunch, dinner, liquor, Sunday brunch, and fiesta night.
Okay. And if you have a chance, could you put the incentive back on the screen so that someone would like to take a screenshot?
Oh, you're
And
gonna
then we have a
tell
few
me.
questions about the incentive that right away I will just add those in since we're on that.
Yeah, it's $75 per booking and an
Okay.
Amazon gift card. So all you have to do is um, reach out to us, ventas@sheratonvallarta.com, or to myself, and we'll actually mail you an Amazon $75 gift card for each booking.
Okay. And you know what? I can throw an image. Oh, no, I can't. But here's the link to register, but it's on Spoiled Agent as well. It's $75. And here's the link to register if anyone would like. There you go.
Thank you.
So of course, that's why I'm here. It's called, I'm just
Yes.
gonna say Sheraton Agent Incentive, okay, guys? But let me ask another question while we go there. So how are the ADA rooms as well as accessibility for scooters and wheelchairs?
Very good. Very good. A great question. I saw half a dozen. The walkways are nice and flat. The ramp or walkway, like for example, from the reception down toward the lobby bar, the deli, and the pool is a nice flat surface. I saw a good half dozen going around, and I I think it's very accessible. The hallways to the shops, to the spa, to the restaurants, they shouldn't have any problem with any of them.
Okay, perfect. And in regards to that, I have another question about the incentive. Does the $75 booking bonus include groups?
Yes, but I'm not quite sure how that breaks down, honestly.
Okay, no problem. Okay, can we get the agent incentive slide? Okay, we've already covered that. The kids, okay. Is the fiesta night included if you don't purchase the all-inclusive? If not, can you pay extra for it?
Absolutely. You can certainly pay for the Sunday brunch or the fiesta night with, make a reservation. You can make a reservation anyway, but yeah, you don't have to do the all-inclusive for those. It's just included if you do.
And it's so phenomenal. I think I used my entire phone memory filming all of that. So good. And I might have took home some treats from there for my kids
That's what
because I
it's there
couldn't
for.
resist. And I was figuring out how to carry them all because they're so beautiful and so beautifully created and colorful, right?
Yes.
So again, something more online with the families. I have some kids club questions and babysitter, so I'll try to group those. So family friendly resort question mark. Also, is it an adult only resort?
As I discussed with the rooms, it's actually both. There is a kids club. It is free 9 to 5, 7 days a week for age 4 to 12. And we looked at some of the pictures there. There's technology for the older kids. There's crafts and art and that kind of stuff for the smaller kids. They do scavenger hunts out on the beach. That's all complimentary, 7 days a week, 9 to 5. The in-room nanny service there is a charge for, and it has to be reserved in advance.
Okay, and
And
then, oh,
Oh,
sorry,
as
go
I say,
ahead.
and then the adults only, like I said, I've been staying at this hotel for the last 20 plus years. My kids grew up staying at this hotel. When I was younger, we used to go to a good example. We used to go to Mazatlan a lot and loved it and partied. Then when we had kids, we found that for us, it was just more of an evening type of destination, and we had no place to go with our 2-year-old. So we switched to Puerto Vallarta. Um, and my kids again grew up at this hotel, but the top 3 floors are adult only. And there's 2 pools. One I call the activity pool, where they say, oh, you want to play volleyball, and there's music and everything's going on. And then the other pool at the other side of the palapa is what I call the quiet pool. And there is a small wading pool in the back corner of that, but it tends to be more adults, and it's quiet. There's a beautiful waterfall, and climb up, and actually there is also, it is scooter friendly. There's a ramp up to a hot tub that's nestled up tucked behind the waterfall. So it's really good for families or adults. And like I said, there's also 2 new suites for couples only massages too.
Okay, perfect. And speaking of massages, are the spa treatments commissionable?
If they're pre-booked, they should be,
Okay,
but I'm not, I don't, I'm going to say no.
okay, there you
I'm
go.
not going to say I could be incorrect, but even when I was down there, we did the spa stuff before. But I would think if you're booking it through your tour operator and pre-booking that stuff, it should be commissionable if you're booking it all through the tour operator. But that can vary between 7, 8 different tour operators.
Of course. Okay, perfect. And sorry, on the kids club, I had one more. Please confirm the kids club space is shared with all ages?
It is, and if we go back, you can see there's one area that's for the older kids, and then the main areas for the crafts and activities and that kind of stuff. Yes, and there is a separate room, but it's kind of partially open, where the teenagers are kind of off on their own and they can do their video and that kind of stuff. And then the main room is for all ages.
Okay. Julia says, I'll be in Puerto Vallarta in December. Can I book a site inspection? Would that be better
Absolutely.
with the resort, or is that through you, or what's the best?
Through us, through me or Jesus, just let us know the date, and Jesus will greet you on site and take you through, and probably offer you breakfast or lunch.
Wow. Okay, perfect. So I'm sending again, everyone in the chat right now. There's Laura Lee and Jesus contact info. Laura Lee's in the US and lots of times in Mexico and all over. And then Jesus is generally in, not always on property, I guess, but generally, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then Lauren is just wanting to follow up on an agent rate request she had. Could she loop in with you on that one?
Absolutely.
Okay, that'd be great. Okay, so Lauren, there you go. I'll share that email with you again, or just directly with you. How many weddings do you do a day?
Oh, I guess that would depend on whether they're using the beach or they're using the convention space or they're using the area where the fiesta is. I've never seen more than one a day, but um, you wouldn't have one at one end of the beach and one at the other.
Okay, yeah, no, makes
That's not
sense, of
that's not going
course.
to make sense, especially if you have live music and all that kind of stuff. But that's something that obviously, again, we have two full-time on-site wedding planners and those details and SheratonVallarta.com, I believe it's /weddings. All of that information is there.
Okay, perfect. And Laura, not Laura Lee, I just shared your information and I lost the name of the agent, but you have Laura Lee's email for that TA rate follow-up you wanted to do. Next question, do clients who are Bonvoy members still get their points of booking the resort, excuse me, with travel agents?
Yes.
Okay, makes sense. And do you have a best time to visit Vallarta? I know you said your favorite is the fall, but is there anything else that you want to mention as far as, and is there a best time to go?
Again, September, October is my favorite, but all year is good. Just remember in the spring, it's a little bit more humid. You've got the afternoon rain and it can come down. You think, oh my God, where'd that come from? And it lasts for 20 minutes and then it's gone. So, your rainy season in the late spring, it's okay as long as you know that. You can be walking down the Malecon and all of a sudden it's just this torrential pour that lasts for 20 minutes. But I live in Seattle, so I'm used to it year
You're
round.
used to it. When is
We're
that late spring?
late spring. But
So
again,
that's like,
for me,
yeah.
fall is the best. Kids are
Mhm.
back at school. Again, depends on where you are. You bring in your kids anytime. If you're looking again for adults only, when I was before mortgage and kids, we loved to go after Labor Day because we found that it was a little bit more, as somebody asked, authentic because it's more Mexicans in what we would call the off season. So you feel like you're not just at a resort anywhere. You've got the authentic feel, but there's a lot more Mexican people staying there in that time of year. And I think the weather for me has always been more consistent in the fall.
Okay. And then I have a question from an anonymous person. I'm just asking you, sometimes if you sign in with Zoom, I don't know what the setting might be that you're showing up as anonymous, but that means we can't see your email or phone number or whatnot to answer you if Laura Lee would like to follow up. So I'm just responding to you, asking if you please share your email so Laura Lee can reach out with the answer to your question. It was in regards to the airport at Vallarta. Next question, do you offer fam trips?
I'm trying to convince them of that.
Okay, there you go. So you're working on it. We love that.
My attitude is agents sell where they stay. As you
That's
said,
right.
Sabrina, you said you've stayed there. It was one of my first hotels staying there. Generally, when we do them in the past, we've done them in conjunction with the Convention and Visitors Bureau. They have a really great staff there, and we would be the host hotel. But I'm really kind of working on them actually doing our own fam where we're experiencing everything in the property and all of the restaurants, all of the activities. And then of course, you've got to still go into town, but I'm working on that. That's my personal goal. I think agents sell where they stay.
100%. And I forgot to remind everyone, of course, we're in the Q&A. If you've stayed up until this point, of course, you're qualified for the prize if that's something on your mind, but please don't feel obligated to stay. But if you have time and we're still here for a bit, but yeah, if you have to run, absolutely, we understand. And yes, you can catch this recording if you want to rewatch this. I think there was some great information shared and it will be on Spoiled Agent. So we just have a few questions left. Lots of great comments on the fam. Of course, everyone wants to join. That's great. So some agents are wondering if you have any marketing materials available.
Yes, we've got flyers on the weddings and diagrams of the convention space. If there's something specific that you need, you can reach out to Jesus or myself. It's all on the website, but if you're talking about actual physical collateral, yes, I've actually got 2 cases sitting in front of my desk that are the size they could fit a child in. They've little shopping. Well, let me, you know what? I'm gonna just a second. I'm gonna grab this really
Absolutely.
quick and show you. I'm in my office. So if you had a special trade show and we were marketing with you, here's some cute little bags, if you can see that.
Yeah, that looks great. It's very
Isn't that great?
visible.
And they
Yeah,
come in all these fun colors. Here's orange and here's
nice.
pink.
Look, you're getting all the hearts.
So yeah, yeah. So those things are available. And and yes, we have some flyers on the all-inclusive plan, which I think you can download from the website in the agent area. But if you can't, you can contact me and I can email it to you. And it's got everything I told you about the all-inclusive programs, and those kinds of things we do have available. Absolutely. Just reach out to Jesus again or myself.
That's fantastic. Okay. Do you have any villas?
Hmm. I, well, okay, are we talking standalones? Like a
That's a good
standalone?
question. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm
I
not
would,
sure.
yeah, I would say no to standalone. If you mean villa, meaning do we have ones with kitchenettes and that? Yes, we do over on the other section that it's not part, it's the other section of the resort. And yes, they do have full kitchen and all of those amenities. So I'd say yes, but they're not standalones.
Okay. Then of course you got overwhelming amount of comments and questions that everyone wants to come on your fam. So what's the best way for them to get on your radar to be potentially included on a fam?
You can friend me on Facebook at Laura Lee Graham. That's my travel agent Facebook page. It's not my personal one. So any those kinds of things I post. And Sabrina will be giving me your email. So anything like that, I will be sending out. Again, I'm working on that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and so you can always find me on Facebook. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can contact Jesus or myself at the hotel, but I will email any of those opportunities out to you.
Okay, and I've got 3 questions or comments in here saying that they're having issues with the United States on the registration. It's not being accepted. So I'll leave those questions open for you so that you can see that they're open and then you can share that with the property and IT team and
Yep.
all that fun stuff. Okay, so Deborah and Lauren, we've got your comments and we will share that. Thank you for taking the time to let us know because otherwise Laura Lee wouldn't know. And so that's really helpful. Someone says, can I get the wedding collateral send? Do you have wedding collateral to send?
Yes, you can actually contact oh gosh, her name it was Lydia. We have a brand new one. I just met her. But if you contact the wedding coordinator on site, or you can email me
There you
and
go. Okay, so
or
here's,
Jesus.
yeah, okay, so here again is the Laura Lee and Jesus contact info. So if you need any support or material, there's the emails for each of them. And this question may have been asked, but what is the website to check my course for Sheraton Buganvilias? Would
I'm
that be
not
like a training? I don't know if you have that right now.
I think that is coming. I haven't seen it yet myself. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
me either. And trust me, if we see it, we throw it on the page right
Yeah,
away.
I
But
haven't
yeah, a
seen that, but I know
training.
that the travel agent pages are still in development. So thank you
Yeah.
for the information about the registration. I know that they're not fully up, but I will ask about that, but I haven't seen that. No, sorry.
Okay, no problem. But you can get a view, plenty of webinars on the Spoiled Agent site. If you just go to the bottom of the page of Sheraton Buganvilias, either in the US or Canadian sites of Spoiled Agent, you're going to find at the very bottom all of their webinars that have been done in the past. So you can watch them and there's different themes. It's always fun and we always learn so many great, I feel like every time, even though you're one property, I learned something new and something different.
Oh, good.
I loved how much you added in the destination. Jesus always does a great job on that as well, but it is so much a part of the experience there and it's so beautiful. So I feel like that is it for the questions. Yay, we had a lot of questions, Laura Lee. We really put you to work.
No worries. Thank you so much for your interest.
Yes, no, absolutely. And a full report will go to Laura Lee. So for any follow-up, of course, email. So you'll get a follow-up email with some tools and things from Laura Lee. And we will have that winner announced. That's randomly selected from, of course, all the folks who joined us here on Facebook Live, of course, and here on Zoom. And next week, midweek, the latest, you're going to find out who that lucky winner is. And that's so fantastic. So I'm excited for you and to hear who's going to go on that stay. And help me out. Put it on our page on Facebook. I want to see. I want to live through you. Have a taco for me. Film the mariachis. I want to live that experience with you. So enjoy whoever does get to win, and good luck to all of you. Do you have any final words before we sign off, Laura Lee?
No, I've been doing this a long time, and the more questions means the more you're paying attention, and hopefully we've maintained your interest. I know there's webinars on everything these days, but I really appreciate your time and your interest, and I really appreciate the questions. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Well, have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone, and I hope to see you soon in Vallarta. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.